What was your peak quarantine moment? Like where you thought, yeah, like that's it, I've lost my mind.
What was your moment? What was your like?
I did end up doing some weird stuff. The worst one was probably I ended up vacuuming my plants. I got these trees in my apartment. I ended up vacuuming my trees in my underwear.
Wow, that's so weird.
Imagine that. You don't even have a neutral background.
I know. Was I supposed to figure it
out? Because the only reason I'm here is because but I'm in my storage room and I cleared like everything off. But if I cleared the rest of the room, you'd be absolutely horrified. No, I like it. It actually has some character going on there.
Thanks.
So thanks. Yeah, where are you?
I'm in Chicago. Where are you?
I'm in Chicago. You guys are working, right?
We are working. It's a whole new world.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's a whole new world. And I always joke that, we were always, I feel like especially these shows, they're so efficient already. But now it's like every scene is done so quickly and it's efficient. And I'm like, well, why wasn't it always this way? Why the pandemic, you know what I mean? But even for me, like I'm on it. I always, I don't forget to wear all my jewelry and my props right to set because I have to, once the masks come off, it's 10 minutes till we have to stop shooting and put our masks back on. And it's like, well, why wasn't I this efficient the last like 5 seasons? Like, it's really cool.
So you feel like it's actually faster?
I do. It's less shooting, so more days, but the scenes go by quicker because, with the actors, you can only have your masks off for 10 minutes at a time. And so camera and everybody, there's more coverage being done at the same time to kind of like tighten it all up so that you get what you need and then we can move on. So, and it's shorter now. We can only shoot like 10-hour days or something. So it's like, it's crazy. We wrapped at 4:30 p.m. the other day. We've done that a couple times. Yeah. So it's just a whole new world. It's like, crazy.
Great.
Are you ready?
This is for me to hear. Well, I'm still trying to gauge how it affects, on all levels of production. Obviously, there's all the new protocols and rules and things and stuff we have to follow. I'm sort of sitting back and like just trying to let it wash over me and trying to figure out, because you can talk about it all day long and until you're actually doing it, you don't really know what it entails. So at the moment, I'm just sitting back, just listening, going, okay, how is it for you?
Yeah.
What's going on with this?
It's great because I feel like, these shows have such a family-based thing. So it makes it a little difficult because everybody's so masked up the whole time and you have to stay 6 feet apart. So there's no reading somebody's mouth if they say something. You can't really have the same conversations you would have with the crew when you come in the morning. You know what I mean? So in that sense, it's a little more distant, but everybody's working. I am amazed at how well they've gotten this together so far. So much work and thought has put into testing and getting these shows back up and running that you'll really kind of be in awe at first. Like, wow, how did they do all this? Like, thank God I'm not part of scheduling like that. I feel like all over the place.
Right. Yeah, I already feel like it's what we got to the efficiency of what felt like a sort of a small military operation, getting in somewhere, organizing, shooting, doing what we need to do, and getting out.
Yeah.
And for the last few months, the production's all been on these Zoom meetings, trying to figure out how we can keep the same feel of the show, because we don't want to lose the energy that the show has and the connection between the cast and the characters and the crew. And still shoot it safely. Yeah. Obviously, just not at the same speed. Well, you shoot faster, but it's longer day or longer. There's more hours to shoot a scene. You've got less shooting time, but the shooting that you're doing is more efficient than last season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy. So you guys start on Monday, right?
Tuesday. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tuesday. So here's another question. Do you mind if I just ask you questions? Because this is great for me.
Oh, okay.
How is it rehearsing? You have to rehearse with masks on, right?
You do, yeah. You
How's
rehearse. It's interesting because you can't read people. Do you know what I mean? And like I had, Max say to me like, "Oh, are we gonna go over that beat?" And I was like, "Well, no, you just can't see my face yet, so you didn't know that we had it or not." And he was like, "Oh, good point." So it's hard because the rehearsals literally are more just for blocking because you can't really. And then we were doing on-camera rehearsals when they're set up with the masks on, but now we've been doing it with masks on and adding that to the 10 minutes because I think it's hard for camera and lighting to see, what's going on.
Wait, so your masks, so when you're doing a rehearsal, when you're doing a rehearsal on camera, you have the masks on? Is that what you're
It's like 50-50. Like if our lighting guy feels like he needs them off, then we'll add that to the 10 minutes and we'll take them off and we'll do a camera rehearsal with the masks off. But we've been doing them mostly with them on, even then.
With them on. So I feel like I could either be really good or really bad depending on the scene. Like keep it really fresh, like it's the first time you're doing it, so you're definitely not over rehearsed. But do you feel under rehearsed?
You're like kind of flying by the seat of your pants. You know what I mean? Like, you have to be. It's so funny because I feel like I'm always pretty prepared. Like work ethic is something that's very important to me, but even more so. Do you know what I mean? Like you just have to because it's even with COVID, like you don't want to be the one that messes this whole thing up. Do you know what I mean? So it's like I want to show up extra prepared so that I'm not the one slowing anything down. I want to make sure I'm being so careful so I'm not the one that shows up and goes like, "Oh, shooting's got to get shut down today, Torrey. What were you doing last night?" So
yeah, Torrey, what were you doing last night?
So it's a lot of I find myself, even though the days are shorter, to be a little more exhausted than normal because your mental state is just running over, "Oh my God, did I wash my hand after touching that doorknob?" Like, you know what I mean? You're like, but I'm telling you, like, even if you touch your mask to take it off, they have to gel your hands. And then as soon as we touch our mask to put them back on, you have to gel your hands anytime you touch your mask. So there's somebody that goes around and just squirts your hands every time you touch your mask. We're gonna have no.
I'm not sure if my cast is gonna love this too much.
I know.
I like eat stuff off the ground. I mean, we throw nuts on the ground and then dare each other to eat them.
No more food or drinks either.
What's that?
No more food or drinks on set either.
No, I know. So we'll bring our own nuts to throw on the ground.
Yeah. No, I mean not allowed on stage at all.
So what do you? Oh, so you don't bring your own food?
You can, but you have to eat it in a certain area out in the breezeway or in your trailer. You can't bring it on set at all.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, right. Okay.
Well, the first day they said no water on set, and I think
I had heard that one. I was like, okay, the one thing that worried me the most, food, whatever, I can eat later, but water, when I'm sweating, when we're running around, I'm like, I need water. Like I'm like a cow. I drink probably too much. I'm at risk of water poisoning. I can drink like 7 to 8 gallons a day.
Wow.
It's actually too much. Do you know what I mean? And so now if I don't have access to water, that's going to be my paranoia.
Yeah. Well, I felt bad because we finally got them to say, okay, just the actors can bring water on set because they're getting really thirsty. But then I big jump and it wasn't screwed on tightly. And yesterday I dropped it and it went all over the floor. And I felt like everyone in slow motion was like contamination. It was like, oh. I was like, oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh, that's brilliant. And then like everyone like keeps their masks on, puts bio suits on and cleans up the water. And the bio has a team should drop in from the ceiling and like clean it up and then go back into the ceiling. Well, that's terrifying. Well, I'm glad to hear that at least you have your water back.
Yeah.
That was a big one for me. I haven't even started. Carry around 75 pounds. We're going to be running around and like the water's going to be God knows where.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want like a crew member having to give me these little like waters in like metal, they're like metal water cans or whatever.
Yeah.
They put them in, and then I'll be like, boom, okay, I need 20 more, please.
I know, it's pretty crazy. It's, you know, and this could be, you know, many seasons to come like this. I mean, who knows? You know?
Yeah. I think sort of, I mean, they're saying this is till the end of the year, but then also it almost feels like just 2 weeks to, you know, flatten.
Yeah.
So I'm like, in my head, I'm going, okay, prepare for the worst and hope for the best. Hopefully this doesn't go on too long, but be prepared for this to drag on like much, much longer than we all want to.
Exactly. And it's like one of those things where you're just like, well, I'm just so grateful to have a job. Like, it's just so crazy that they were able to make this operation run while this is happening. It's the most impressive thing I've ever seen.
Right. So has everyone been excited to come back to work?
Yeah, everybody's been pretty excited to come back to work. I think it's that whole thing where it's like we're all coming out of these bubbles, like, whoa, what an interaction again? What is this? What is that? And, you know, but I think everybody's like, it's a unanimous thing that we're all just happy to kind of just, it feels like you're kind of getting some sort of normalcy back a little bit, you know? What about you guys? Have you talked to other people? Are you guys excited?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen them at like the testing station and stuff. So like we wave at each other, you know, from across the cones and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So a lot of people I'm not recognizing. Like when they're walking around in masks and stuff, I'm like, hi.
I know.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. I'm like, oh, should we wear name tags now? I don't know. I feel like we've got enough rules. I don't want any more rules. But I think, yeah, we are excited. I mean, the same thing. They've done like an amazing job just trying to, you know, we're trying to keep the same momentum of the energy and the show, but we're trying to do it in, I guess, in a safer way, you know, putting, you know, the least amount of people at risk, because there is some risk, you know, there's risk stepping outside your door. But they've done a great job. I'm just looking forward to actually just going back to work, especially because like not a lot of people are working. And same thing, I'm so thankful. I'm like, wow, we have a job, and we're very blessed to actually be going back to this job, even with the new rules, even with, you know, however it happens.
Absolutely.
And just trying to make the best of it, you know. I want to keep that energy up. And keep the momentum and the, you know, the back and forth between the cast and stuff, because that's what made us the show for 8 years.
But what are you most excited about being back on set?
I guess just seeing everybody, you know. I guess it was 7 months, and the 7 months is, I mean, that's the longest break ever, but it wasn't really a break either, because we couldn't just go out and do what we wanted. I guess I'm really looking for, even with the new rules and whatever, I'm just looking forward to going back to work. And it is a challenge, I think, just seeing, can we make the same show in a completely different way? And just the camaraderie on set, you know, like we have a good camaraderie, and just to be going back to work is just really, really exciting.
Yeah. You stay in Chicago the whole time during the pandemic?
No, I bounced around a little bit, but only when I felt I could. Do you know what I mean? You know, who really wants to fly anywhere? I did fly a couple of times. It was a bit weird, but that was okay too. I felt like people were actually very courteous.
Absolutely, and it's very empty.
Yeah, it was very empty. That was.
I felt safe going to the market, to be honest with you. Like,
yeah, sometimes, sure. Yeah.
It felt very clean. The way they're doing it with the air, I was like nervous about it at first, and then I was like, okay, I don't want to do this all the time, but I feel safe right now. So it was,
Yeah. Did you go to New York?
No, I was in New York most of my pandemic.
Oh, okay.
I had to make my way to LA once, and then obviously back to Chicago. So I flew twice during it, but yeah, it was it's just been interesting, huh?
Yeah, I know. I did do a bit of driving too. which was good as well. I mean, some places like the mask. I even ended up in these tiny little towns once where I thought, oh, no one's going to be wearing a mask here. And they were all wearing masks. I'm like,
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Whereas like some like major places off the highway, like no one's wearing a mask. I'm like, okay, there's different rules happening all over the shop here. It's quite funny.
Yeah, that's the problem. Not everybody's on the same page. So it's like you kind of gotta gauge. I just always wear it, and I think it's great. It's like it gives you like a fun anonymity out in public too.
Oh,
You're like,
yeah, for actors. I was thinking about this because now did you ever get recognized from your eyes?
yes, I did.
I did too.
That would be the weirdest
Like
thing. When I know who you are, even though you're wearing that. That almost feels a little like, whoa.
Yeah. No, what you do is just wink. You just wink at it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's funny, yeah.
I actually ran into Paddy from PD in the local market, and I walked in to the local market with my mask off, stupidly, just like wandering in like an idiot, like I do. And the woman behind the bar was like, sir, can you just please? I went, oh, sorry. And then this guy turned around and looked at me. He went, hey! And it was just that. I was like, hey! And then his, girlfriend was there, and I didn't know who they were. Like, they had to give me the old, it was Paddy.
That's so funny.
I know, it scared the heck out of me because I had no idea who it was. This guy just like came at me.
That's hilarious. You remember the last time you bumped into me on the street?
Yes. And you were in your scrubs, weren't you?
I was. I really didn't think I. But I was like, I'm just gonna leave set for a second, go run and get myself something to eat, and then I hear Torrey, and you had this like quizzical look on your face, like, why are you out in public?
You're out. I wish I'd gone, Dr. Manning.
Seriously, I've done that a couple times.
Natalie? I should have come up to your character.
Yeah, seriously.
I think I blew it. Damn.
I've done that like a couple times, and if I haven't gotten recognized, it's almost one of those things where I feel like people feel bad for me. Like, is she really trying to get attention?
No.
That much attention? I'm like, oh god.
You're like, no, I'm just going home for a second. I've done that too. When was it, in bunker gear? Which actually comes in really handy because you look so professional. If you cross the street, everyone just stops for you. It's like Moses parting the Red Sea. You can just walk anywhere, like opening doors as if you're on a mission.
But then you gotta feel like such an imposter, just like, thank you for your service, thank you for all you do for us. You're like,
oh yeah, you're like, oh no, sorry. I'm just playing dress ups. I'm sorry.
I actually had to run to the Verizon store when the pandemic was happening, and I had like gloves and stuff from set because I really did swipe some of the medical stuff on our way out when.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah.
Yeah, and this girl was like, so you're a doctor, like, can you tell me like what's going on right now? Like I was like, no, I'm not a doctor. But I know right now, but I'm not.
Yeah. Didn't they donate? They donated a whole bunch of stuff. I think with or something.
Amazing. Yeah, they donated a lot of the medical supplies to hospitals, stuff like that, which was incredible. Do you have any that are actual first responders?
All my family are, except for me. They're all doctors.
Really?
My dad's retired now. He was just a GP, like a family practitioner.
Yeah.
So they're all specialists, so they're in a kind of a weird position where they couldn't like close the practice, but they weren't allowed to do anything. So my brother's an orthopedic surgeon, and so he couldn't do, like a hip replacement.
Right.
I had to sit around waiting for emergency, like a kid broke his arm and stuff. So they're in sort of a weird limbo. But they're all back to work now, which is, like fully back to work. Australia is still in massive lockdown. Like they're in huge lockdown.
Wow.
So I know, like, if you go back to Melbourne, like you get a full escort, like a military escort, I believe, like to a hotel, and they lock you in.
No way.
You're properly like locked in for like 2 weeks. Like you can't, if you open your door, it's a $1,600 fine.
Wow.
I was like, whoa, okay.
Okay.
Way to go,
Wow.
Mom.
Wow, that's crazy. I didn't know your whole family, you were like from a family of doctors. So how did they
Yeah.
feel about you as an actor?
It was really weird when I did House.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I forgot.
'Cause I was like, so here's my so they've all got their photos like on the mantelpiece at home of when they graduated in their gown, their hat, you know, and the photo of me is as my character on Doctor House. It's like I'm sorry, you had to. Yeah, the photo of me is the fake doctor against all the real.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, it is hilarious. They I mean, they're great, you know. They know, you know, that we make TV shows, you know what I mean? It's not, you know, some of it's, you know, we have to bend the truth a little bit, you know, the same with firefighter stuff, you know, you just have to do it for dramatic purposes. But they did like to pick on it. You know what I mean? They'd like to be like I showed my brother once the opening of House, and I don't know if this is true or not, but this happened. Like, and I was, you know, I told my brother, I was like, listen, just tell me, you know, everything that's wrong. I know it's bursting out of you, and so I started to play it, and literally on the first shot, right? Well, and it comes up as an extra, and he goes, "Oh, stop!" And I'm paused. I'm like, "What?" And he goes, "The X-ray's backwards."
Get out. Oh my God.
That's not technically a mistake. They just wanted, you know, that you can shoot an X-ray from either way. But I was like, oh my gosh, this is going to be a pain.
Like, maybe we shouldn't watch this.
Yeah, maybe we shouldn't watch.
But
But at the same time, they also like to out-diagnose. Do you know what I mean? They like to figure out where the medical story is going and that kind of stuff. So it's also fun for them.
yeah.
You know what
That's
I mean?
oh,
Yeah.
that's fun. It's like they could play a game with it. It's like whoever the medical thing first.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, who can diagnose first? Yeah, because they know there'll be a couple red herrings in there and all that kind of stuff.
Sure.
Yeah, so
That's
it's quite hilarious.
good.
But no, the only thing, I mean, I haven't got to, normally I get to go back to Australia and see them. And this one with the 2-week quarantine, I was like, oh, I just don't know. I think I might wait. So I waited. Maybe I should have gone back, but 2-week quarantine was quite a lot. And
Yeah.
Or if, and you know, coming back from, you know, America at that time, and I didn't know if I could see them all because then there were lockdowns in between the states.
Yeah.
States and Australia. So I skipped out on it, hoping that maybe I could go at Christmas, but I'm not even sure at Christmas.
Right? Oh.
Yeah, it's all just going to be Zoom. It's going to be Zoom, another Zoom Christmas, I think.
It's going to be a Zoom Christmas. It's going to be for us here, it's even going to probably be a Zoom Thanksgiving. I can't imagine by November I can go, you know, group of 10 at my dad's house or something, you know?
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of Zoom Thanksgivings. And I think we only get a couple days too, because we're shooting with, so what's, you shoot Saturdays?
No, we do Monday through Friday. I think
Friday.
Wednesday through Saturday. You guys are Wednesday through Sunday, right?
No, we're Sunday through Thursday.
Sunday through Thursday.
Yeah, because Sunday, which is kind of weird, but Sunday we can get really good locations for the fire stuff and things where there's no one around.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So that'll probably, I mean, that'll work best for us, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. It's so funny because I was talking to some people like, oh, that must suck to get like a Sunday or Saturday flight. And I was like, the world's on hold. So days don't really matter.
Yeah,
a Friday
not as much,
off is
right?
day off. Do you know what I mean? It's like, you can't do it anyways.
Right. I mean, Saturday, I still kind of like maybe getting a Friday off is good because then like the banks will be open.
There you go. You can get stuff done.
Maybe it's better. I don't know.
Totally. Oh my God, it's so funny.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I'm excited for you guys to start.
Oh my God, I am too. Can I end on this? Or no, I don't want to end on it. But I just want to ask you, what was your peak quarantine moment? Like where you thought, yeah, like that's it, I've lost my mind.
Well, I have to do. You know, okay.
I've had many of them, so I've even forgotten some of the ones that I had.
I had spot where I thought I was going to go crazy, even though like when I was finally getting a haircut after this and my hairdresser was like, oh, you have like a lot of new growth coming in. Did you like lose some hair recently? I was like, yeah, this is the whole world.
You're like, leave me alone. Who are you?
But I think I have a script, and I quarantined with my boyfriend, which was great, but we were kind of new in the dating, so we did that whole quarantine relationship thing, let's go 0 to do this. And
oh my gosh, you probably got like so much stuff covered like in the first month that would take how long? A year in like ordinary life?
Oh yeah, if not more.
Wow.
Like, a month felt like a year. It's like, okay, every month it was like a year.
Wow. Good for you.
Yeah, I have some writing to do, and luckily we're still together, so it worked. But
amazing.
Yeah, but
traveling. I feel like if you want to know if you get along with someone before this stuff and before quarantining, was travel. If you travel with someone,
yes,
that's how you get to know each other like as fast as possible, and you'll know at the end of 2 weeks whether you like them or not.
Exactly, and now it's like
more than that.
Quarantine.
Yeah, you can go full quarantine for 6 months to see if you like them.
I was joking with friends. I was like, it's like when you'd say to someone when they talked about dating someone, you're like, yeah, but do you like them or do you like really like them? Now it's like them or do you like quarantine?
Quarantine like.
Okay, before we go, then I have to know, what was your moment? What was your like?
I ended up. There were a few of them. I loved walking through Chicago, like when there was just nothing, like on a Sunday morning sometimes, where I ride down there and everything was shut down. It was like, remember when we shot the Infection episodes and we shut down LaSalle Avenue and they blew tumbleweeds across? Mm-hmm. Some of that was awesome. So I enjoyed that. But I did end up doing some weird stuff. The worst one was probably, I ended up vacuuming my plants. I got these trees in my apartment. I ended up vacuuming my trees in my underwear.
Wow. Wow. That's so weird.
Imagine that. There is a reason for this. There was construction and some dust like about 6 months ago had come into the apartment.
Yeah.
The whole place had been deep cleaned, but I'd never actually cleaned the plants. And so eventually, after going through cupboard to cupboard to cupboard, I realized and went, wait, the plants. But I didn't, they're too big to take outside. And I couldn't like wash them down with a hose. So I had to vacuum them and then polish them like leaf by leaf.
Wow.
Yeah. And then I realized when I was doing it, there's an apartment opposite me and I've got these windows. And so they were just looking at this guy.
Oh my God.
In underwear on a ladder, vacuuming the top of the plants.
In your underwear, no less.
Underwear. As I realized, I looked across and went, oh my God, I don't even care right now. I don't care.
That's so funny. Oh my God, that's so funny. I love it.
My plants are like shiny, sparkling, brand new. Thank you very much.
If there wasn't a pandemic, that probably would have never happened.
No, I would never do that. That's like, I got stuff. Now it's going to be a habit.
Oh my God, I love it. It's so good to see you and catch up. I haven't seen you.
Yeah, you too. Are we going to have like crossovers? I think there are. I think there's some.
I heard
straight away.
Attempt one. So we'll see.
I know, because we did our crossover. Remember in the elevator when you were stuck in the elevator with your patient?
Yes.
Like 2 years. That was probably 2 years ago. Not even, maybe.
I think that was was it last season or season? Something like that.
It's hard to tell now because time's gone all weird. But I think it was probably 2 seasons ago. Yeah.
Yes.
We'll probably do more of that stuff, especially when they have two characters just in one area.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. That'll make it easy.
So we can expect a lot more.
Yeah,
Natalie, Matthew Casey stuck in elevators.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're stuck in an elevator again.
Oh, that's weird. What's going to happen?
Oh, God. All right. Well, I guess I'll be seeing you around soon.
Yeah, I'll see you at the testing station.
Yeah, like this.
Hey, how's the bird?
All right. Well, it was good talking to you.
Yeah, good talking to you. Love to everyone on your set.
You as well.
Yeah,
all right.
Okay. All right. Cheerio. Bye.